everyone. Thank you for joining me, Anomaly, for another video on the $5 Journey channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody who's been emailing me, leaving comments, definitely appreciate you all. Today, what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about 3 things not to do when building wealth. If you want to build wealth, right, these are 3 things you definitely do not want to do. All right. First thing is working for every dollar earned. Working for every dollar earned. You do not want to work for every dollar earned. Now, do you want to work and earn money? Of course, yeah, definitely. That should be a thing. But one of the things that financially progressive people do, and they realize, and very wealthy people do, is they have all these different revenue streams coming in, 5, 6, 7 different revenue streams. Maybe there's, they own, a business over here selling, selling bicycles, and then they have investments in some stock, and their investments bring them in a certain amount of money. Maybe they invest in real estate and they're getting rent rolls, rental payments every month from their real estate. Maybe they're doing other stuff. So they have all these different streams of income coming in. Now, here's one of the things. Okay, so you guys know that I've mentioned Airbnb before. Well, when I get when I get payment for my Airbnb rental, I'm not doing any work for that. That's just money. I can go to sleep, I can wake up, I can go on vacation, I can do whatever, and I'm bringing in money. That money is a revenue stream for me from Airbnb. Same thing with my investment property that I have. I don't really have to do anything from month to month. I mean, the money comes in. Of course, every now and again there's some repairs, there's some upgrades that I do. Sometimes people want to talk to me on the phone, but let's say, maybe I'm spending maybe an hour every month on that, and in the end, it's a revenue stream that's bringing me in about $3,000 a month. So that's, and that's just one thing. For my Airbnb, I spend maybe about, maybe another hour every month on Airbnb, and that's something that's bringing me in $1,500 extra per month, and that's on a slow month. It could go on up to maybe $2,300 for the month. So that's what I'm talking about. So now, did I have to put in work to get those things started? Absolutely. But the point is, I do have my full-time job, which I actually really love, and that's a revenue stream, and I have to, put in 40 hours a week or however many hours a week, and I get paid based off of that. But I have these other revenue streams coming in from REITs, from stock, from mutual funds, from rentals, from Airbnb. So there's different revenue streams coming in that I am not putting in 40 hours per week for each one, and the money is just coming in. So so that's one thing. So if you are a person and you want to build, you want to be financially progressive, you want to build wealth. All right, one thing is, do not work for every dollar earned. Try to get some sort of cash flow, some sort of revenue stream, some sort of financial vehicle that's talked about in the book, and also some of the other videos here that you guys have probably tuned in for. If you haven't, make sure you check out some of the older videos. Okay, second thing is keeping up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses. Sometimes we think that we say, okay, well, you know what? I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. I want to be financially progressive. So let me see what other people are driving or wearing, or what kind of houses they're buying, right? And so what we end up doing is we end up spending money on those kinds of things, trying to keep up with people that we are looking to for, we, in our perception, our perspective, they look to be financially well off. And so we look to them and say, oh yeah, I want, they're buying the new Air Jordans, or they're buying they're getting the latest Lexus, or they're instead of getting a $200,000 house, they're getting a $700,000 house, those kinds of things. And one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to worry about keeping up with the Joneses, okay? One of the best things is to just be able to just be yourself when you're, whether you're a millionaire or you're a thousandaire or you're a hundredaire, and you're just trying to, make it, on that $5 per day journey. You're trying to get to a destination. You're trying to make it. Don't worry about the appearance of wealth. All right. Focus your money, focus your time, focus your mental energy on obtaining wealth. All right. Now, of course, in a moral way, don't do anything illegal. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do things where you treat people like a jerk. Right. But, still focus on those things. Don't focus on, on keeping up with the Joneses. The third thing is, don't do what everybody else does. Okay. Now, here's one example of that. All right. They say, okay, well, when you're in school, get good grades, so you go to college, and you get good grades in college, and then you graduate, and you're gonna get the job of your dreams, right? But people do that. That's what they do, and I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but that's what people do a lot of times, and they end up still being in debt. They still end up being broke. They still end up having a whole lot more week left at the end of their pay, right? They're still, living paycheck to paycheck. They're 63% of the country right now in 2018, March of 2018, 63% of the country cannot handle a $1,000 emergency. Okay, 50% of the country are living, are getting paid $30,000 or less. They're living either in poverty or close to that poverty level. So now, of course, some of them have their bachelor's degrees. Some of them have their master's degrees. I've met people who have. Well, I know one person who has a PhD who is, working at a department store, right? Because he can't find a job that is that's paying more than this department store. What is he doing at the department store? He's checking people. They bring their clothes, and he rings them up, and he gives them their receipt and tells them have a nice day at the store that he's working at, right? And so when you and I'm not saying that getting a PhD is not a good thing, getting a master's degree, getting a bachelor's degree, doing well in school. No, do all those things, but you have to be able to think outside, right? I posted a video on my Facebook page. It's from Minority Mindset, so I enjoy watching that. Minority Mindset basically is Jaspreet Singh, and he talks about not doing the things that everybody else is doing, right? Because if you do what everybody else is doing, you're going to end up where everybody else is ending up. Kind of, I'm messing up his words a little bit, but you guys get the hint. So if you want to build wealth, right, one of the things not to do is doing what everyone else does. Okay, doing what everyone else does. A lot of people do not invest in REITs. A lot of people don't invest in mutual funds. A lot of people, they're thinking, oh, well, Social Security is going to take care of me. I have my 401k. I have my retirement account, and that's pretty much it. But then they don't do any extra reading. For example, the AARP article, which said that, it's good that you have a retirement account, but in order to retire, and you've been making $40,000 a year, in order to retire and to continue to make that, which probably wouldn't be enough anyways, but in order to do that and maintain that $40,000 a year, you have to retire with $1.18 million in your 401k or your IRA or whatever your retirement account is. All right, now a lot of us will not make that we will not make it to that $1.18 million. All right, so that's what I'm saying, to make sure that you put yourself in a situation where you have financial vehicles, you have different streams of income coming in, right? You're not doing what everyone else does. You're also not trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? So hopefully that was enlightening. I have another video that's going to be coming out. We're going to take a look at we're going to take a look at cash flow. We're going to talk about assets versus liabilities and what that difference is. It's really it's your equity. What's your equity, right? And some people have debt, right? Debt equity. Some people have, they're kind of in the green or in the black, right? They have, after they pay their debts and their liabilities and stuff like that, they have money left at the end of it, right? They have a net worth. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Keep tuning in. Make sure you email me. I will put my contact information in the caption below. And thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Remember, it's not a sprint. It's a $5 per day journey. Thanks. Bye.